Okay guys, today I'm going to show you guys how you can make a custom desktop background for your computer using the My Memory Suite program. First thing you have to do is to find out the size of your background. To do that, I am on Windows Vista, but it may be different depending on what you have. But basically you want to go to your background settings. So for me, I right click, I hit personalize, and I'm given all my options, and I'm going to choose the display settings, and it'll show me my size right here, which is the 1366 by 768 pixels. I'm going to remember that. Now I'm going to go ahead and open up my software. Okay, so when my software opens, I'm given options of whether I want to go for a template or design my own. And I want to hit design my own. Now I can pick by sizes. I'm going to hit this custom size tab, change inches to pixels, and then type in that number. So it was 1366, sorry, a little bit dyslexic, and 768. Hit OK. Okay, so here's my thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom out just a little bit because I like to be able to see my whole page on my screen. And the first thing we need to do is to add a background. So if I hit backgrounds, I'm going to hit custom. I could use the stuff that's in the suite already, but I have my own pack that I have put on my computer in a folder. And this is it right here. So I'm going to go pick my paper that I want to use. I'm going to pick, if I could scroll through to have, I'm going to pick this one right here. Okay, now as you can see, I am given this gray border around my document, and that's there because it's to show you if you were to bind this into a book where like the cutoff could be, and so that you don't have like pictures cut off. But for our application we don't need this, so I am going to turn it off because it is distracting to me. So I'm going to hit guides and click this trim area off. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to put in a paper scrap is what I would call it, but another paper that's going to be where we're going to build our main scrapbook collage on. And to do that, I'm going to add a photo. And you can either add a photo directly or add a photo box. I am going to hit the photo box. And slide that over where I want it. And I can make it whatever size I want it. So I'll probably want it right about in here. I want just a tiny bit of pink. Okay, so now if I click this, it'll bring me back to my folder, and I can pick a pattern. And for this, I am going to do this gray grid. And I want to pick a fairly simple background for this part because I will be building all my embellishments on it, and I don't want to have the background fight with the things I put on it. Alrighty, so that's it. Next I'm going to add an embellishment. So go down to embellishment and hit add. And it's going to take me to the embellishments that are available on My Memory Suites, but I want to use the same one from my kit, so I'm going to hit browse other. And I can select what I want. So I'm going to use this red border right here. Now, it puts it in kind of big, and that's mostly because my document's smaller than the normal scrapbook paper is created in. So I need to scroll this down. The thing to be careful of is not to let your embellishment go off the whole picture, because then you won't be able to get back. So I can do that. If I put my cursor over here, I can turn it and place it where I want it. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing and add a couple of pieces of rickrack, and I will be right back. Okay, so I added this piece of pink rickrack, and I wanted to show you how instead of putting it on another piece in, I can just copy it, and then I'll have the same size and the same orientation. So I have it selected. I'm just going to right click, copy, edit, paste, and there we go. Now I have another one that I'm going to put on this side of my page. And I didn't have to go through all that again. And now I see that I want to actually make my little picture here a tiny bit smaller. Squeeze that in. Okay, there we go. Now it's time to add some more of these photo boxes. And this is going to be the frames that I'm going to use for the calendar and my pictures of my kids. So this will be the calendar. So I'm put that in, click on it, pick what color I want, and I'm going to do just a solid red for this. And then one thing I didn't show you before is when it pulls it up, you have the option, you could zoom in on it if you wanted to get like a closer texture, which is cool when you put in your paper. Okay, so I'm going to put that in, and then I'm going to add a matte to this one. So I could pick a color, it automatically says white, which is actually what I want. I can pick how wide I want it, and go to about there. Now I have a box for matte. Okay, I'm going to add a couple more boxes for my kids' pictures, and then I will be back. Okay, so I put in my 3 mats that are going to be for my calendar and my 2 pictures, and as you can see, I could rotate these 2, so I made a couple of these a little bit swampus. Alright, now it is time to add some text. So if you're going to do like journaling, you could use just a regular text box, but if you're going to do any kind of a title, I would suggest using the word art. So you click that, hit add word art, a little box will pop up, and you can type in your word. Oh, we're going to write February. Pick a font. And then under the fill, I am going to select, instead of a gradient color, I'm going to actually put an image in. So I hit image, hit change, and it brings me back to this. And this way I can take one of these papers and actually make the words be the same pattern as the picture. So let me find the one I want. See, isn't it cute? Now, it's kind of hard to see, and to help that, I'm going to hit stroke, hit enable stroke, and this is going to outline it. And I can change how big I want that. Obviously, I want it that big. And I could change the color, but I think the black looks about what I want anyway. Now I can adjust this by dragging this box. I can make this February whatever size I need it to be. I think right about in there looks good. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing and add a 2012 and the days of the week for my calendar. Alright, so I added in my 2012 and my days of the week, and I wanted to show you how we can pick a color for this if we don't use the image. So if I hit solid color, and I'm going to change that, and I get this box that shows all these colors. So these are just swatches, or a palette. They're swatches. You can do the sliders Or you can do this cool thing called Picker, where you click on this and then you can actually just hover and pick any color that's already on the screen. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick this really light pink over here. Just click on a spot, hit OK. And now I have a color pink that's a perfect match. And once again, I'm going to have this black background on that. And then okay, so then I can size that down and put it where I want it to go. Alright, so next thing we need to do is to add the calendar. And this is a pretty cool feature that my Memory Suite has, is they actually have a calendar section. So I can go down in right here onto calendar, hit my month is, add a month. My month is February 2012. I don't want the header or the lines. The lines would just be like the grid for the calendar. Hit edit, and I can change my font to whatever I want, and my size, about 24 would probably be good. And the color, I want that to be white. Okay, and now I can bring this in and shrink it down to fit inside my calendar mat that I made. And I can already tell that this font is not going to work. So I'm going to change that font real fast. Go back to edit, and then I can pick a different font. Let's see. There we go. Get that lined up where you want it. Okay, and now obviously I need to make this mat go below that one because of it's blocking the numbers. So I'm going to select it, hit Shift and Control and then down, and I can move it below level. Okay, so now I'm going to add the pictures of my kids in. So I'm going to hit the photo box once again and shrink this down to the size that I want it and put it in place. So line that up. Now once I have that at about the size I need it, which is right about in there, I can click on it. It'll take me to my same folder again, but this time I'm going to search a different folder. So I want to go to my picture folder. And select the photo I want to use. Now I brought up the Crockbox. Once again, I can zoom in if I wanted to, and I can move it around to frame her the way I want her. So we're going to do it just like that. And then I'm going to hit the Control Shift down to bring it underneath the rest of this stuff. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with my son's photo. And then I will be back. Okay, so now that I got my kids' pictures in, it's time for the fun part, which is embellishing around my images. So once again, I'm going to go to embellishments, hit add, And now I can go back to my folder that had my scrapbook papers in it. Let's see that under. Okay, and now I can use any of these around my picture. So I'm going to start with one of these really cute flowers. And roll that down. And one good thing to do with embellishments is to add a shadow to it. So I'm going to hit the shadow button. And here I can adjust like how light I want the shadow and how like much blur I want it to have. And I like it right about in there. And I'm going to actually save this as the default so that it'll all my shadows will be that way. And hit OK. Okay, now I'm going to just keep adding embellishments. Okay, so I've put a bunch of embellishments in, but there's one more thing I wanted to show you. So I have this one bird. I'm going to add another bird. And for my second bird, I want to use this red one. And I'm going to bring it down to about the same size as the first one I have. And then, because I want them to be little lovebirds, I can hit this mirror and it'll flip my embellishment around. Then I can line my two birds up how I want them. I have the one selected and hit Control, and I'm going to select the other one. And now I have both of them selected at the same time. Right click and I can group them. And now they're going to move together as a unit. And I can even scale them down together as a unit. And put them in where I want them to go. And now that I have this in, I see that it would have been better the other way around. So I'm actually going to ungroup them and mirror both of them. And line them back up. Okay, so that is my little picture. I think I'm going to add a couple hearts around there and then I am done. Okay, so I added my heart and now I feel like everything's balanced and complete. I have enough room over here for all my icons on my desktop and I have this cute little image to look at. So now I'm going to save it. We're going to call this February 3. And yes, that means this is take 3. And then I'm going to go to Share Albums, Export Pages. I want to make sure it has JPEG. I can pick which pages. If I had more than one, I could just, do it to one page. Make sure it's saying the large size, which is the size that we needed for our image. And hit finish. Okay, so now that that has been written, I can minimize this and go to the folder where it has been saved, which is right here, February 3. I'm going to open up my document. Now this is just a solid JPEG image now. I can right click and set as my background. minimize, and there you have it. A very cute custom Valentine's Day background for my computer. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned a little bit more about how the MyMemory software works and a little bit has got some fun ideas. Thanks for watching.